start too late. Virgil's not about. He's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind a door next to those stairs.
Yeah.
Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered?
It's like you know something we don't.
Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Hostile ahead. What's taking place?
Force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold! You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
We cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
suppressors in range.
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. You sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
Looks like I owe Niles 10 bits.
I don't believe this. The Council must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments?
You caught her pleading for support. Consul so you could execute her.
I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
Chance to explain what happened.
With the demands this war has made on us all, I'd not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith.
You're trying to keep Tristan off the train.
No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least.
The junior arbiter who tried to judge.
That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic, but this is not the matter we're here to discuss. No. I can, if the situation was truly as he claims, understand his initial decision. Perhaps I even sympathize. Just a little. But playing false with me That's another matter entirely, and the matter of justice remains. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. This is not the first time we've encountered the paradoxical nature of Protectorate law. Each time we did, you convinced me to stay my hand, and I do not regret those I spared. Our prior conclusions inform my present feelings. I theoretically understand what Virgil did, for there was no proper decision he could make. But I cannot view this objectively. Virgil killed our mentor. It's madness. I cannot simply let that stand. Can I?
Back to your hesitating means.
My hesitation is more reflective of a weakness of character. One does not hesitate in the Protectorate. One acts. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong.
Let me ask you this. What would you choose?
I don't know. He was right when he said the Consul would simply manipulate High Command. But the law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol?
So you could have.
No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves if Arcadia is to survive. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. It could be better if I did not. I cannot be sure this path does not fly in the face of all I believe, or speak to some weakness at the depths of my being. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
Good on you, Rao. Ain't healthy to let the hammer solve all your problems.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. That's all well and good, but it shan't undo my actions, or bring anyone back. I must live with that. 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being, I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. To battle!
Ready to go.
I don't know who Auntie's Choice thinks they will convince with this poor quality propaganda. But I sure am grateful for the heat they provide.
You said it.
I feel confident though.
You okay?
Mind your troops' table P's and Q's now. Say, have you seen Junior Acolyte Johnson around this way?
Consume in peace, and we won't have a problem.
Don't cause trouble. I don't need the extra. Thanks again for bringing back those boot cards.
Can't you see I'm busy trying to look busy?
Don't even think about disrupting the marketplace. Do I look approachable? Because I'm not. here. Don't make me avenge you.
Protectorate personnel, only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you are not of the Protectorate, you are this unit's enemy. Preparing to unleash disproportionate amount of ammunition on unresponsive bystander.
Draft's back in business.
I don't like this. It's too quiet. If it weren't for the scales, a worm would be all goosebumps.
Attention IRC staff. Please head inside for an important announcement from the console. Attendance is mandatory.
Sounds like an emergency all-hands meeting to me. Bodes well.
Subjects, listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. Of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly, for I address you today not as the consul, nor even as your new leader, which I am, but as a simple man who wants nothing more than to defend his home and his neighbors. But I cannot do it alone.
I smell regicide. The Sovereign's certainly dead.
I reckon that's Protectorate for I assassinated the Sovereign and seized control. If true, this console will be a nasty one to go up against.
Spotted.
All subjects prosper under the guidance of our beneficent ruler, the Sovereign. Screw. Rocket's ready. Frankly, pissed off.
Back in my sight, maintaining perfection.
I know how this looks, but I can assure you I have leave to look into... Oh, you're not security. Then you must be responsible for all the commotion I heard just now. For both our sakes, I think it best if we continue as we were. I will forget I saw you as long as you extend me the same courtesy. I was looking for proof, if you must know. There was an incident recently, and I believe our head of security is neglecting his duty to investigate. Albin Valancourt is the sentinel charged with supervising this facility and all its researchers. Unfortunately, he's a punitive man who delights in the wretchedness of others. I'd grasp a live rod if I could pass its current to him. Although, unless you have unusual license to be here, his odds of keeping head and body united diminish by the second.
I'd be more than happy to accelerate that timeline. I am quite handy with sharp instruments if you'd prefer it done quiet-like. Or I can just improvise. Always more fun that way. Not even a little decapitation? What about some minor dismemberment?
Do I know you? Your voice sounds strikingly familiar.
You know what, Commander? I believe you are correct. We should leave.
I see Valancourt has still failed to apprehend you. And so the clock continues to tick, counting down to his well-deserved comeuppance. For both our sakes, I think it best if we continue as we were. I will forget I saw you as long as you extend me the same courtesy. I was looking for Albin...
I'd be more than happy to accelerate that timeline. I am quite handy with sharp instruments if you'd prefer it. The next time you tell me to be quiet will be the last time you have lips to do so.
Do I know you? Your voice sounds strikingly familiar.
I don't think... I mean, definitely not. You must be mistaken.
Well, your assistant seems spirited. But do not mistake me. I only want the appropriate measures to be taken in response to what appears to be a significant security breach. Unless your lamps have oxidized, you must have noticed my arm. I lost it saving the Sovereign from a rift experiment gone wrong. An experiment I was in charge of. Naturally, Valancourt supplied my name for the reports, incriminating me in the eyes of my colleagues. And since he's closed off that wing of the lab, I can't prove my innocence.
Meeting means taking responsibility for failure as well as success.
This facility is not a place where mistakes are tolerated. Here, those who shoulder blame soon go headless. Coincidence is not causation, I know. But with recent events being what they are, it's difficult not to draw certain unpalatable theories beyond mere incompetence. Sabotage comes foremost to mind, though the perpetrator and purpose remain a mystery. If only Valancourt was not at permanent cross-purposes with me.
See Valancourt's.
Much can be said of Valancourt's unsavory character, but a traitor he is not. But if not him, then who?
Situation, if you help me. Rift module.
I should have known you were here for the prototype. But for what ill-begotten purpose, I wonder?
Not ill-begotten at all. Save the colony. Certain destruction.
If that is true, then your goals and mine may be in closer alignment than I thought. Everything is turning base over apex today. Even though we have expanded our efforts beyond the modulator's use, Valancourt would still pay for such a theft. And I'll need it to reopen the rift in the closed-off wing. I couldn't possibly rely on an outsider to help me conduct an investigation, could I? No, that would be outrageous, unthinkable. Except, whatever the cause of the incident, it is my duty as a law-abiding Protectorate subject to gather proof and uncover its cause. Really, Valancourt is forcing my hand here.
Instead of you expanding beyond.
That is privileged information.
Privilege it with me. Media destroyed everything.
Some things I cannot divulge, even under pain of death. This is one of them. All I can say is that the prototype is just that. A proof of concept rendered in miniature. Back to the topic at hand. Do we have an accord? Or do you intend to make further errors in judgment by rejecting my help? Help you with acquisition? Assuredly not. If, however, in your exploration of the lab, you happen upon the modulator, I surely would not be able to prevent you from seizing it. What I am offering is help afterward. Once you take the prototype, it will set off an immediate lockdown. I can facilitate your exit from the facility, but only if you help me in turn. That modulator will be necessary to unfold the rift and find the evidence I need. And if Valancourt suffers repercussions for its loss, I will count that as an added benefit.
Sounds risky, but I'm willing to try if you can.
The prototype rift modulator is currently in interstitial hall at the top of Exhibition Tower. There's a lift in the next room over that can take you directly there. Once you have the prototype, make your way to Valancourt's quarters. He should have a spare key card that will grant us access to the restricted wing. I'll monitor your progress from here. Be cautious. The guards of this facility will attack anyone unfamiliar to them. But once you have the key card and rift device, reconvene here, and we'll go together to the wing.
Your investigation is complete. Escape.
That is what we've agreed upon, is it not?
Being in such close proximity to multiple rifts, I find it hard to focus.
That researcher says she recognized you.
I have no idea. Protectorate subjects tend to display erratic and even hallucinatory behavior due to their upbringing. I mean, look at me.
Trouble ahead.
Trust the plan, observe set progress, sustain the system.
Appreciate if you cleared out.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Looks like they vanished.
This rift looks goopy. Wonder what it consists of.
Rift anomaly modulator. Oh, they still my heart. To interact with the rifts will be to touch perfection.
Quickly, use the modulator to open the rift. It may provide your only avenue for escape.
To the unsubtle thief. Yes, you. It's not every day that someone is fool enough to break into the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center. I'd be obliged if you would regale me with the tale of how you managed to get this far.
Must be Valancourt. Shit.
A crude assessment and utterly untrue. I am perfectly accommodating to non-incompetence. I suspect you did not reach here unaided. So who was it? Which one of my undutiful brain boxes helped sponsor this little pilferage?
You're asking me. Say you don't know your people.
Act glib if you like. All you've done is illustrate the need for more invasive auditing of my personnel. I'll be sure to inform them of your role in that unpleasantness. Well, there will be time to scrutinize every angle of this breach at a later date, once I have dealt with you.
Or you could just let me go.
I could also reduce you to a state of quivering agony, begging for death. And that would be a lot more enjoyable for me, if I'm being candid. No matter. I will await you in the hangar, where bullets may fly more freely than words, if you survive that long.
First time I've seen this member.
Especially perturbed. Frolic, prance, and shimmy to your heart's reasonable advantage?
No, that's only for celebrating the downfall of our enemies. Distemperament can hide in plain sight. Deserves a look.
Don't be reluctant to unfold any rifts you come across using the modulator. They may eject something useful to you.
You suppose there's been another incident? Like the one with the Sovereign?
No.
All charged up.
Antlers and freeloaders! In our midst!
My lance on a hawk.
40 pounds! 5!
What are they up to? Forever vigilant.
My aftermarket parts are prized.
Too much mayhem to be sown to stop and talk right now. A little too clean for my taste. Makes you wonder what he's hiding.
Having that device nabbed on his watch nigh guarantees Valancourt a long stay and mental refreshment, if he is not subjected to swift and fitting arbitration first. Matriarch's blessings on you. Let's not waste time then. I'll lead us to the restricted wing now. Once there, reopen the rift using the modulator, so we can begin searching for clues. sorry excuse of interstitial reconfigurating matter that claimed my arm. Let's open the hood, shall we? Rifts reconstitute matter in an imprecise manner, but use your imagination to conjure the original scene. That could lead us to the evidence we need. You've discovered something? I knew it! I am absolved. And yet, I cannot possibly imagine what would have possessed him to deliberately endanger the Sovereign's life. It's unconscionable. I would characterize Valancourt as many vile and unmentionable things, but a traitor? No. A man cannot defecate without humming a Protectorate anthem. For all the time I've spent trying to unsnarl Valancourt's mercurial behavior, it seems there was yet more I did not know about him. I think I'm beginning to understand exactly what happened here. But if you have any additional points of data, please share them.
Not now, Commander. We've got more important things to...
You've discovered something? I think I can formulate my own conclusion from here. Our deal... Dear head of security has much to answer for. We need to go and confront Valancourt, now.
I'm right behind
I'm no longer willing to wait for the arc of justice to bend in my favor. Valancourt needs to die for what he's done. if I distract him. Can I count on you to do the rest? I'll go first. Follow behind, but not too closely. We don't want him to see you. I'll keep Valancourt talking so that you can get a good angle on him. But his patience isn't limitless, so be swift. Attack when ready. No need to wait for a signal from me. Oh, and there's also a rift in the hangar. An experimental byproduct, as it were. I would avoid interacting with it, lest you alert Valancourt to our ploy.
Dr. Hurley, pleasant as I find your company, I must ask you to vacate the area at once. I'm preparing our defenses against an intruder.
Hold the pleasantries, Valancourt. I know you sabotaged the experiment that nearly killed me and the Sovereign. I have the proof.
Calm yourself, Doctor. Such a belligerent tone is unbecoming from one of your profession.
Don't tell me to calm down, you traitorous worm. You attempted to assassinate the Sovereign, and don't do it.
Step aside. Swine. All on the wrist.
Thus always to traitors. Morale will certainly improve in the lab now, I should think, provided Valancourt's replacement is not also an absolute pilgarlic. I had prepared this trauma kit, but obviously that turned out to be an unnecessary precaution. Please, take it with my gratitude.
Service lesson on everybody outside the...
I'm not sure murdering the head of security at a highly valued research facility makes the argument you think it does, but noted. Have no fear. No evidence of our little collaboration will survive. I'll see to it.
Now that you have the Rift modulator, any previously inaccessible rifts could be worth revisiting. Rifts may contain useful equipment and resources. However, due to the chaotic nature of reconstitution, some creative problem solving may be required in reaching them.
We should talk, Commander.
Commander, I've been thinking on the fact that so many of my slack-witted brethren believe it reasonable that I've been marked for death. So much so that I've missed the obvious. Our communication devices. There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order.
For them, she was stupid. Except for you.
Point taken. You know, I really should have seen the flaw in recruiting suggestible slackwits to our cause. But Severin is different. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Well, never mind that. Very well. Let's just say that he was forbidden to associate with me and leave it at that. Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, no one would have even known it was there. I should have been checking our comm devices, damn it. I know we have camps on Cloister and Praetor, but I'm not sure of the exact locations. I'd like to try to find one and clear it out so I can access one of our devices. Hopefully, it will bring me that much closer to whoever it is I need to kill to put an end to this nonsense.
Sounds like a good idea. Assuming maybe
Welcome to Auntie's Choice.
looks
We
pretty
look
big.
forward to your inevitable acquisition and/or merger.
it's actually the nature of the risk, isn't it?
pissed off. Yeah.
Hello. So, I'm trapped. Messages to the Order left unanswered. Tried to run. Got about 2/5 of me gouged out. A lot of blood. Less now. Spent much of my life wondering what I'd say at the end. Trying to think of the words for this felt like reading a thesis before the presiding bishop. But a lot of people die. And not a lot of final words get remembered. Certainly no one will hear these. So why worry about being meaningful? What matters is who I was when I was alive. And if I was predestined to be ursapod food. I think maybe I would have liked to re-roll the odds.
Yeah.
We should turn on the radio.
The planetary object beneath the desk. The berry's bounce followed a predetermined order. No different from the spill of stellar material known as the Milky Way in the night void. We call this order the Grand Plan. Do we know every step of it? No. But we know it is knowable. Just a matter of calculating the motion of every particle in the universe. That calculation is a universal equation. Once we solve it, and it's only a matter of time, we will know all that ever was or will ever be. Not only will we predict reality, we control it.
Shit, dude.
We will ascend to godhood.
Stay tuned for what follows. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Whoa.
Anticipate the answers to terminate the errors and liberate our lives to integrate ideas and dissipate disasters.
This melodious little ditty was dedicated to novice Gertrude Powell. Your anonymous admirer has taken great interest in your figure work and projections.
Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper, something your fractions should never be.
The color of space, a chromospectral analysis. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Otisgard replied, with no hesitation, beige. To experienced lumen astronomers, his answer was the expected one. But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating, with their faces contorted into a rictus of ignorance. Wouldn't the average color be black or white, or simply a shade of gray? No. No, it would not. The answer is rooted in the science of how hot objects absorb and emit light, which answers the ancillary mystery of why there are no green stars. To understand all of this, you must understand the basics of thermal divarication emission theory. The typical piece of non-heated matter absorbs most electromagnetic radiation that falls upon it, including light, infrared, and radio emissions. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb, so they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to absorb 100% of all electromagnetic radiation and re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what portion of the spectrum that light is in. Low temperature emission is mostly infrared and not visible to us without proper instrumentation, which I need not describe here. As the stellar body's temperature increases, its emitted light shifts up into visible light, through red, into orange, then yellow, then white. Even rare blue stars exist. These are the hottest stars, emitting mostly blue and invisible ultraviolet light. So why are there no green stars? It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition that emits solely packets of green light. In fact, such a composition itself is evidence for intelligent interference, and no such evidence of any kind has ever been detected. Let's get back to Newton Otisgard, the famous photographer. The methodology of the Otisgard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its overall hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and
Ain't no use standing around. Pull out that rift modulator and fire it up.
For computation. Subsequent spectral analysis produced a final answer to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that
Commander, glorious dawn up ahead. Probably best to turn back until I've sorted whatever treachery has undermined my status within the ranks. I'd welcome the bloodshed, but that's not going to get me my answers. I'm not just saying this because I take great joy in the killing of those who have betrayed me, but we should find some glorious dawn camps so I can send a message to my old friend.
Results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth, neophytes. And as you study your lessons, stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
This time, On notable locations of scientific inquiry, we cogitate on the past as well as the future in a sanctuary devoted to time and space. A feast for your occipital lobe and optic nerve. One of the most stunning order-made structures across the entire Arcadia system. Prepare to sense the sensational as we draw your feelings of awe to the Alexandra Monastery at Matriarch's Mercy in Golden Ridge. Set next to a colossal sculpture of the Matriarch carved into a pyramidal peak, the shrine to
all charged up. All on the wrist.
By its vast operational importance with respect to cosmological data collection and subsequent illumination.
Science. Wine. All on the wrist.
7 qualitatively valid reasons why Alexandra Monastery counts among our notable locations of scientific inquiry.
Do not deviate from this frequency lest you miss what comes next.
And now a song from a composer predicted to have 3 well-liked melodies and become allergic to warming this year. A feast for your occipital lobe and optic nerve. One of the most stunning order-made structures across the entire Arcadia system. Prepare to sense the sensational as we draw your feelings of awe to the Alexandra Monastery at Matriarch's Mercy in Golden Ridge. Set next to a colossal sculpture of the Matriarch carved into a pyramidal peak, this shrine to she who ushered us to the stars comes complete with its own observatory. A feat of aesthetics only surpassed by its vast operational importance in respect to cosmological data collection and subsequent rumination. The observatory processes a wealth of information gathered by its giant ocular telescope. The site also has a front-facing portion to admit dewy-eyed laypeople seeking edification and enrichment about our learnings and ways. And those are just a few of the 36.7 qualitatively valid reasons why Alexandra Monastery counts among our notable locations of scientific inquiry.
Do not deviate from this frequency lest you miss what comes next.
This popular number has been conclusively proven to promote cognitive function.
Function F to the n equaling our starting zen. Function Fn minus 1 plus the f minus 2. In all cases that we know, starting where n is so low. Now you know just what to do. Start the cycle, here's the cue. It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely summing to preceding numbers. Gives us math that brings us wonders. Define the recurrence relation, get us to sequence summation. It's Fibonacci, from Liber of RC. gazing upon the golden spiral, apart but quite so vital, arcing in a circle motion, giving squares a perfect portion. 0, 1, 1, and a 10, 3, 5, and 8, and 24, we're counting through.
All charged up.
It's Fibonacci, a sequence largely. It's Fibonacci. The Fibonacci sequence is a sequence in which each number
The student wants to know, what exactly did the charismatic mathematician teach?
Ah, one can spend a lifetime poring over the mathematician's works and still never grasp every lick and tittle. I'll give it a 60-second answer. This was to teach the defined
I've been known to hold a grudge.
stage to one of transcendence for all. He taught how society could reach its full potential and then move one stage beyond full humanity spanning actualization. A society at that final stage will exceed
What?
human
Sorry. Caught me lost in my upper story. There's something you wanted to converse on?
What was it you were saying about the
Simply that, as much as I'd welcome the bloodshed, it may be wise for me to avoid members of the Dawn until I get their treachery sorted.
She's got a point. Unless you're keen on complicating Newton's matters further, might be best to have her babysit the incognito for a while.
Though I'd also point out that if I can resolve my problems with the Glorious Dawn, then I may be more effective in Newton. Whether that be through diplomacy or killing.
Regardless, I think we should stay with the group.
Excellent. Let the killing commence.
We're looking for something.
So, you folk just drop into a war zone, find an empty building, and set up shop? Isn't that dangerous?
Yeah, pretty much. And yes, very. But the profits are worth it.
You aren't afraid of getting, I don't know, robbed? Robbed? Or killed? Or probably both?
Tell me, is the reason you're here because we have decent food? If you kill or rob us, you'll be stuck with rations forever. Don't shoot the hand that feeds you.
For the workful, how can that be infinite, a measure of mystery?
Probably nothing useful here.
but I might as well take a look before the scrappers start.
Feel free to use the workbench. Bench. Just don't break it.
How can that be? Irrationality. One thing that you must profess. Irrationality is a part of our progress. How can that be? Using pi, a number without end. Evokes a result, correct in the dividend. Accept it, and you can plainly see a positive externality. A positive externality. One thing you can plainly see. Accept it. In this infinity, can it be a positive externality? One thing, the irrational term, accept it. In the calculation, can it be? Can result in explanation. How can that be? How can that be? How can that be?
There's anything worse than my former fellow protectorate subjects, it's corporate toadies.
Voracious statements regarding products researched and designed to increase energy, efficiency, creativity, and focus.
Come in. Let me know if anything. Let me know if you're looking for anything in particular.
From the Order of the Ascendant. A roguish comical remark discovered upon a chalkboard. And his choice and the Protectorate both count very little. The Order of the Ascendant counts the most. And now, more music to perform advanced calculations by.
Probability and the grand plan. There can be no discussion of the grand plan without also entertaining a deep contemplation of probability. Our ability to predict events to varying degrees of certainty is fundamentally rooted in statistical mathematics. Statistics, at its heart, is not but data. Data that is gathered, collated, and subjected to analysis. But what is the role of chance in that analysis? Let's look at the interpretation of pure chance. If one flips a perfectly balanced coin, it will land on heads with a 1 in 2 chance, or tails with a 1 in 2 chance. But are there really 2 outcomes? Is there not one specific outcome we can determine? Yes. With complete information, there can be no chance, only outcome. Complete information yields perfect predictions, 100% accuracy, known outcomes. Now we come to one of the most difficult concepts in the Order for initiates to grasp. If the result of the flip of a coin is known to be heads, is it necessary to flip the coin? Would it not be more efficient to simply go forward as if it had been flipped and proceed with whatever action that flip was intended to choose? If so, what part of that choice was ever left to chance? The answer, of course, is none. Only when there is less than complete information are we reduced to chance. At present, we do not have complete information. Instead, we are still forced to deal in probabilities, expected values, and standard deviations, which lead to the dreaded sigma of probability distributions. By necessity, we are forced to estimate outcomes based on assumed distributions of sample populations. Such a travesty. No, not a travesty, a tragedy. A horror. A horror the Archive will help us avoid. Every bit of data collected, analyzed, and input by our archivists brings us closer to our goal. To the solving of the universal equation. Probability is not enough. Guesses are not enough. Incomplete information leads to inaccurate predictions, which lead to tragedies. We must not guess. We must know. Help us know. Contribute any and all data you can collect to our proud archivists. And you too can say you contributed to the Archive.
Yeah.
That song was odd because it is the number 3 song this week. Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
If I measured every heartbeat and their electrical signals, would I find a value for love or divide my heart by 0? If I input every integer of an intimate connection into a computronic system, would my punch card face rejection? Love does not compute. The variables seem infinite. Love does not compute. It's both clear and ambivalent. Love does not compute. If all matter has mass, and thus exerts attraction, could I bear the weight and measure, or be crushed beneath abstraction? Can I calculate truth or assumption? Where does love fit in a constant function? Love does not compute.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. A general reminder for the especially studious: monitor your step when traversing between academical appointments. Do not read and walk. If you must operate near or adjacent to said conspicuous dimensional disturbances, please take additional care. Eyes forward, noses out of academic journals.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
Damn it.
Further beneficial content soon follows. Avid followers of our predictive playlists are already aware of which song follows. Interested in receiving our weekly selection of mathematical clues? Visit your local predictory.
If something hasn't happened, if something's not the case, if you find your data missing inside your database, if you need to find alternatives and make it is informative. If something isn't and it's subject to review.
This is Steam Deck. Steam Deck is...
If one event occurs and another is precluded from that information, what case can be concluded? Of love is like a waltz, with what is true and what is false. Don't just consider what you know, but also your
to Grand Plan Wireless, Arcadia's voice of reason. As foretold by tenured series and our own programming schedule, it is time for another illuminative installment of Ask Vicar, featuring Vicar Magsaisa. A listener asks, what is the difference between the Protectorate's paradigm and our grand plan? Vicar, enlighten this layperson if you please.
Why not ask the difference between a raindrop and the sea? Or the vacuum of cement and the core of a gas?
All charged up.
Not possible. No target to gun.
Oh, not seeing a shot.
This might stay. No target, Commander. Don't tase me.
Climate hot air leaves it so much.
To perform advanced calculations by
The color of space. When asked about the average color of space, the famous stellar cartographer Newton Odisgard replied, no hesitation.
Brad's still a bit sleepy.
Might stay a lot.
But I can already hear the obtuse listener bleating with their
Recharging as
faces
fast as I can, Commander.
Wouldn't the average
I will restore my life to avenge my death.
Strapped in ready.
The answer is rooted in the science of how objects absorb of why there are understand thermal divarication emission theory. The typical theory of most electromagnetic radiation are false apocalypse.
Back in business.
Infrared and radio emission. And the matter reflects only a small portion of that radiation. The visible part of that reflection is its color. However, most stellar objects generate far more radiation than they absorb. So they can be modeled as an idealized object, which is assumed to
Looks like a dawn camp is up ahead. We should be able to find one of our devices there.
Re-emit some based on its temperature and composition. Stellar composition determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence what version of the spectrum of light will be. Low temperature
Better take a gander.
Through red, orange, then yellow. No green stars. Easily draw this conclusion for themselves. It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition.
Finally! Maybe now I can get to the truth of this kill order nonsense. I just need to check our comms device for a coded message from my old acquaintance, Severin.
No such evidence of any kind has ever been detected.
I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me at a place that should be safe. It's on Cloister.
Odisgard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his astronomical field of view into grids, then tagged each object in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only dim the color and not change its fundamental hue. The light from every galaxy, star, nebula, and quasar was gathered and fed into a central tabulator for computation. The subsequent spectral analysis produced a final to within 0.5% of the predicted value. And that result was beige. More specifically, in the cylindrical coordinate model of color space, the hue is 42 degrees, while the saturation is a mere 9%, and the value is a full 100%. In more novice terms, while the color tends towards white, the addition of a variety of reds and sun blues results in a more beige tone. And there you have it. So go forth. That's your lessons. Stare at the nondescript walls of your library, classroom, or dormitory facility, and exult in the knowledge that beige is also the color of the universe.
Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space. Traveling at the velocity of light through the vacuum of space on our primary band, this is Grand Plan Wireless, the informed, sourced, peer-reviewed sound of scientism. I transmit...
Hey, Commander. Something tells me the Order won't be keen on letting an enemy soldier walk through their gates. Reckon I ought to step away?
In its recent history. This critical facility, once a tranquil haven of intellectual inquiry and data extrapolation, remains under the slaughterous thumb of those murderous zealots, the Glorious Dawn. Those homicidal societal cast-offs worship the rifts, the very phenomenon our scientists are attempting to mitigate. Naturally, our incompatible outlooks at odds. If only Dawn's cultists resorted to reasoned discourse rather than wanton bloodletting to promote their point of view. Ultimately, we must prioritize the security of Newton, not just for the safety of its scienticians, but so we might forestall the Rift dilemma, and certainly doomsday.
That is all for now. Until next time, keep hail and mind your calculations. Unlike parallel lines, I hope someday we'll meet.
Continuing as predetermined. The following song has been determined to facilitate abstract thinking and constructive rumination.
It means your proof is ended. Obligation
Commander. Don't make me avenge you.
Get to the point and do not vacillate.
All the items we put into the rift, they've been reconstituted, but in a state far different from their original configuration. Fascinating.
Don't wait for later.
Oh, damn it. It's reverted to its previous state. Is it a failing of the device or an inevitable effect of the passage?
You. I don't know you, but you, I do. It's good to see you, Asa. It's me, Severin. You know, I've never been to Cloister before. It's cold.
What is wrong with you? Boy, damn it! Did they mentally refresh you?
No, let's just say I'm well lubricated. You tried the new Prestige gin? It helps when you have to do something you really don't want to do. Yes, there are a bunch of sentinels in hiding. When I give the word, they're to execute both of you.
Not before I mentally refresh your brain pan with my knife.
I didn't want to do this. I guess I shouldn't have questioned the kill order so loudly. It was real. It came from the exalted leader herself. She summoned me, knew of the message I'd sent, said I'd ruined everything. To save myself, save the Dawn, I had to do this. I'm a coward. I didn't want to die. I'm sorry, Asa.
Absolutely not. We don't need his help. We should just kill him and get on with the Sentinel killing. If we die, at least I'll be taking a great many of them with us. Did you not hear me? I said he dies.
No. Sentinels! Target confirmed!
Sentinels! Target is
The exalted leader sent Severin as bait, not to mention betraying the Dawn to save her own life. What a coward. The unspeakable things I will do when I find her. Well, once I find her. The exalted... No, I won't refer to her as such any longer. Dagmar continually moved around for safety. She always initiated contact with me. We do know that she was in league with the Sentinels, though. There's nothing of it but to get ourselves inside their headquarters on Praetor. We'll track her by accessing their comm system. Couldn't have said it better myself. Fortunately, we don't need to worry about hacking their systems. Well, as I mentioned before, my parents were vigilant. I stole their access codes when I was younger, but never had the nerve or call to use them. Once we do, they'll become unusable, as they'll set off all sorts of alarms.
What's a number that has no ending? A number that can call from a mathematics man named Mueller. His work with this number you see as a lowercase e to calculate with interest compounding. Irrational, 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 irrational. Remainder is misrational. These numbers are so monumental. They're also known as transcendental. Irrational, 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 irrational. Remainder is misrational. Irrational, 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 irrational.
Next, the latest field data validating or repudiating our forecasts and relevant informational details for near-present and future calculations.
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel, with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
Warning. Agent Lightinger's sanity profile is well below the acceptable threshold. Further decline may necessitate intervention.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her body. Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
Well, well, as a Helia Lightinger, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you've made it this far. In addition to your wonderful thirst for wanton violence, you were always bright, though still somehow too thoroughly deluded to apprehend the truth. But then again, you never really wanted to, did you? Yes, well, can it truly even be considered betrayal if it was always lies? And Azza's willful ignorance made her the perfect candidate when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me!
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
And there it is. I almost felt sorry for you, Azahelia. You were so pathetic. So willing to believe specious arguments backed with only the flimsiest of proofs. Ah, well, such is life. But your usefulness is not yet at an end. Your death will put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Aza.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively. I've no idea what you're speaking of. The Glorious Dawn is the future of Arcadia. Dagmar must die violently because she betrayed us. I know of no other way to act.
Potential combatant in the vicinity.
This melodious little ditty was dedicated to novice Gertrude Powell. Your nominate admirer has taken great interest in your figure work and projections.
Consistency in your work is wonderful. Consistency in playlists is not. Now for a new song.
Generating primes, techniques, and uses.
Clear out!
Today, welcome again to Advanced Abstract Section. Background music.
Invasive elements!
Harmonic signals. My name is Edmund Anderson, and I am the senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics.
I advise you detail directly.
Today's lecture will focus on the generation of and uses. I know. Prime numbers? Why so simplistic? Well, consider this a basic refresher course in remedial numismatics for those new to the order. I will start by explaining what a prime number is, despite the fact that you should have learned that definition decades ago while still in diapers. But no matter. I have been called many things, and repetitious
Health
is one of
benefits
them.
available at your request.
I've also been called redundant several times, and once I was called reiterative, if you can believe that. So, prime numbers. What are they? The simplest definition is this. Given the set of natural numbers greater than 1, let's call that set n2, then a prime is any number in the set n2 that is not itself a product of two other numbers in the set n2. A simple definition. Elegant, even. Uplifting. Almost ascendant, you could say, but not redundant. Side note, I am frequently asked why isn't 1 a prime number since nothing can divide it other than itself.
Consul
And the
Thoreau,
answer is simple,
I'm sure you're
you
surprised
silly
to be
lay
receiving
person.
this message,
Because
and
with
thus
such
I
an
can assume
inclusion
you
to the
already
definition
know
of a
my
prime
intent.
number, then
Even
nothing else
considering
would be
aligning
a
myself
prime
against the
number.
Sovereign is like
And then
sticking
what
my
good are
hand
prime
in
numbers?
boiling oil.
Wait,
Yet my
you
dead
ask,
charges
what good
spur
are
me
prime
forward.
numbers?
10
Why would we
scores
want to
of
find and
Arcadia's
use
finest.
prime numbers?
At least
There are
10
all
scores.
kinds of abstract
Died
number theory
in defense of
applications,
Golden
and
Ridge.
that should
And does the
and would
region
be
lie in
sufficient
our
reason to
control?
want them. But
No.
there are also,
We fled
how
like
should I say,
sprats, all
practical
at Varric's
applications,
behest.
such as maintaining the
I shall
security of
lower
bit
myself
cartridges.
to work with you,
In
Consul.
fact, our archive
I will
uses
help you
primes for that
uphold your
reason
plan
and many
to
more.
hold.
The archive
What in
incorporates
blazes?
prime numbers for storage
How long have
and
you been
retrieval
standing
on
there?
its ultra
What did
efficient
you hear?
system of data bricks, as well as using prime numbers in the process of checking its memory stores for corruption, lest its calculations
Consul
be
Thoreau,
tainted by such.
I'm sure you're even
But
my
if you
dead.
strive to become a
Oh.
numenistics researcher, there are several open questions in the area of prime number study. One such question is this: is every even member of the set N2 besides 2 a sum of 2 primes? It seems to be so, but no one has ever proven this conjecture. Similarly, are there an infinite number of prime pairs that differ by only 2 in their value? That seems unlikely, but we have been unable to find an upper limit. Perhaps you could discover one of these groups and become the next senior tenured laureate of the Tertiary Adjunct School of Numismatics for the Order of the Ascendant. Such a lofty, and dare I say, elegant goal. Good disquisitions to you all, and good day.
As determined, you're listening to Grand Plan Wireless. For transpiring events, philosophical profundities, informed insight into the future, also music.
Like the sound of that at all.
Next 1.7 minutes of
Investigating hostile act.
for a compact
Enemy
dissertation.
spotted.
It's a fight.
Presiding Bishop Ruth Massar.
A lot. Perilous times for scientism. Spatial anomalies, in-person our divisive division from the Protectorate. Not
Dagmar never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
We cannot choose our trials, only predict them and prepare. We have done both with usual efficiency. Our greatest enemy is distraction. We must not let events outside our control divide our attention, or we risk incongruence with the grand plan. That way lies chaos. We are the Order. We cannot control misfortunes.
Ah! You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to.
What happens next may surprise you, but not us.
Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways. As I told you before, there's only death for those who would betray the cult.
She's dead.
As am I. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future. True. There may be those that do not accept my leadership, but they will die. The Dawn is too important to disband. What little risk any of them may pose doesn't concern me. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous Exalted Leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with, and that I am now in charge. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, I'm hoping there are more than a few that refuse to acknowledge their new leader. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least. It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
16406286208
This is Grand Plan Wireless, broadcasting soothing tunes for your audio canal and enriching content for your cerebral cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension. Valued students of the Order of the Ascendant, recent fascinating but alarming astronomical events require your immediate and undivided cognitive attention. The main rift anomaly has undergone a sudden destabilization event, spiking in mass and activity, surging 17.2% into a web-like construct spanning 0.17 astronomical units. The geometrical math underlying this energetic intensification reshapes our understanding of exponential dynamics. No exaggeration, we will spend years analyzing this phenomenon. Yet we must suppress our curiosity for the moment. It has become clear that both the large and localized rifts have transitioned into an existential threat to the entire colony. Why our Vicar Laureate was nearly consumed by the rift's runaway expansion while on an important research excursion. He barely escaped being reduced to his constituent nucleons. Our seers predict with a 37.6% certainty that the localized rifts across Arcadia will also intensify. If you observe something, write something, citing sources and submitting for peer review, of course. Thus, we will save humanity and preserve the rifts for laboratory study, a logical course of action with no risk of mishap.
Now do carry on. And as always, anticipate and calculate.
Continuing as predetermined. Warning, the following song mentions some actions that are improper. Something your fractions should never be.
One thing that you have to know, irrationality is good for the workflow. How can that be? How can that be? Infinite treasure of mystery unveils the key to logic's asymmetry. How can that be?